Hello, welcome to Jia. Under this Bazi Destiny, today I'm going to share with you one case study related to this particular chart that I'm sharing with you. My name is Dougles. I'm actually the Qimeng teacher that specializes in Jia to teach people how to use Jia to change their life for the better. So today's case study I'm going to share with you is about this person who is born in 1997, this July on the 12th. So how do we read this chart? So not to worry too much, I will explain to you in very brief, simplified details to share with you how to read a person's chart using Jia very precisely. So in order to read this chart, we must understand two concepts that there are actually two different sections over here. So there are this thing called the four pillars. Four pillars is over here. So if you see, it's like four different pillars. And there's we have these 9 palaces. The palaces itself represent information about the character and the relationship about their life. Okay, so in order to see the information about this chart, what we need to do is we must identify the person's character, the person's representation in terms of symbol. So what is the symbol that represents this person? So in order to see, we have to see the four pillar itself. We have to see one of the symbol that is the main character, the main representation for that particular person. So in order to see, we need to go to something called the day stamp, D-A-Y stamp. Okay, this is here. So this symbol itself, pronunciation as Y-I is E, E. So this E itself is actually a representation that's going to be presented in the 9 palace over here. So the E over here, we need to find where is the E. This is the E over here, there's one over here. And there's another one which is over here. Okay, so if you notice, there are actually two different E. So in a nutshell, what we're going to say is that this box number 4 that has an E inside is going to represent his character. This box number 3, there's another representation of his character. So there'll be two different boxes that's going to represent his main character. So question is, why is there 2 boxes or 1 box, or why is there not 3 boxes? So in this case itself, it's telling us the representation of the age from 0 all the way to until 35 plus minus. This box number 3 is going to represent his character. Box number 4 is somewhere around 35 years old plus minus. After that is going to be his character. So meaning that when he's young, his character is going to be 9 heaven, rest, and diplomat. And after 35, he will have 9 earth, life, and impulse. So let us zoom in very clearly to see what does all this symbol represent. Okay, let's zoom in where we look at this 35 and below, that is all the way from baby until 35 plus minus. So he will have 3 different set of character. So we have this 9 heaven, we have this rest and diplomat. 9 heaven, the representation is this. 9 heaven stands for somebody who is very high in terms of expectation in terms of himself, and other people. So he would like to have a high target, high objective. He want to achieve great goals. So because of being a high achiever, he could be a perfectionist. He like to make things right in everything that he do. So in that aspect, his personal pressure may be very high also because of this. So, and at the same time, he's also a very chill person. He like to relax. He doesn't like to compete. Although he is having a high expectation, but he don't really like to work in terms of, very, very work too hard. But at the same time, this diplomat itself is telling us that this person, although he can be chill, but in a way that if he choose to be, he can be very, very systematic, very, very hardworking. That's where things get very interesting. So in his life before 35 years old, he will make a lot of mistakes. Why I know that is that because there's a sing over here. Sing represent mistakes. So in this aspect, because of his high expectation and relaxed character, he will be very prone to make mistake in this aspect. So I could imagine his life will be full of ups and downs in this case. So moving forward, what we need to do is we focus on after 25 characters, which is over here. Okay. So in this aspect is that we have Nine Earth. Nine Earth is somebody who is pretty honest, very diligent, and in fact, he's can be a bit stubborn. But in a way that if you see previously, he's actually a Nine Heaven person. After that, he changed to a Nine Earth person. So, which means that technically his expectation actually goes down tremendously, where he faced a lot of problem when he's young, before 35 years old. So in his life, his expectation may not be so high anymore, but he's a bit more grounded, more systematic, more cautious about things. So we also have life over here. Life stands for businesses, stands for profit. So he's actually a very profitable person. If he were to go to business, he'll be able to be very joyful. He'll be able to get more sales, get more customer if he were to go into business. And at the same time, we have this particular thing called the impulse star. So we have this impulse, meaning that when he do things, he can be very rush. He can be very impulsive in this whatever thing that he do. So that's one of his main character that is not so positive in this aspect. So we also notice that there's a this E over here. E also represent the party woman, older woman. So there potentially there might be some third party older woman that is going to be the problem in the marriage. But let us look further in terms of their character and in terms of their relationship of the marriage. So what we need to do is the next stage that we need to do is we need to find out the relationship between himself and the rest of his category. For example, the marriage, the business, and the career. Okay, so first thing first, we look at the marriage itself. Just now we suspect that there will be third party woman, older woman. So over here, the marriage is actually in box number 7. Okay, so marriage is represented by this partner. So in this aspect, there will be some problem. There will be some views. It's a very neutral view. So we see that there's a third party woman over here already represented by the thing. There's also money involved, so meaning that there will be a lot of money issue in this partnership of this relationship for the marriage. So we also notice there's a little circle over here. This little circle stands for this emptiness. Emptiness in most cases, it represents the marriage likelihood will be a divorce. So in this case, we will be a bit more careful to see that the relationship may not be so fantastic because of the third party involved in terms of monetary, in terms of woman, provided that this particular person is a guy. So I may suspect that this person likelihood to get divorced very soon if they were to get married, whether is it 35 years old or below or above. Because if I were to look at it chart as a whole person, this marriage itself is actually clashing with him over here and also clashing with him over here. So technically, he will have a hard time in the marriage itself in this aspect, although he's a very okay person in terms of character, but he's a very rush person. So let's move on to academic. Academic wise, we are looking at this over here. So academic is accompanied by an injury door and a black tortoise. So meaning that it's not really that fantastic because injury door is actually the second worst door in the 奇门遁甲. And we have a black tortoise. Black tortoise is something that is superficial, that's something that's fake. So, and in terms of relationship of himself, which is a wood over here, whether it's young or all the way when he's older, he's always chasing after the academic. So it will take a bit of effort and time to achieve a certain academic result. But because of his relationship with the academic result may not be so fantastic. So I may suspect that the most he will get a secondary school or high school, A level. If he were to work hard, maybe his grade may be okay in university, but I wouldn't expect him to get in terms of MBA or even a PhD. So his career, his academic will be pretty limited. So next, move on to his career. Career is over here, which is represented by open door. So technically, he's okay in terms of the open door. That means the career where there's a leader that's always helping him. But take note that there's a bandit in together with him, meaning that he will lose money. He will be facing a lot of situation, a lot of aggressive situation in the job itself. So we look at their relationship between the job and himself, which is a wood, and in this his career itself. So he's a wood that's controlling this earth itself. So technically, he's able to control this career. So it should not be a big issue. That means basing on his expectation, his ability to communicate, whereby he's a live person and he's a diplomat person, which is very hardworking person, then from there, he should be able to manage his career pretty well, provided that he choose to do a business. Okay, so anyway, if you were to go to business itself, then we will take a look at his business, this box, which is live over here. Life, if you were to go to business, I would say that he will make some money. He will not make a lot of money because there's a 9 Earth over here. 9 Earth also represent a low level. That means the profit is going to be low, business is going to be low, and with some impulsiveness over here, I don't really think that it's very advisable to go to work for himself. So comparatively, given the choice, I would advise him to go into this working for people if possible, because there'll be a good leader that's representing and helping him. Okay, so much so for this particular chart. Of course, there's also a lot of other things we can see, but it will take a bit too long to explain. And thank you for watching this video under this Bazi Destiny under 奇门遁甲. And if you want to learn more things about this 奇门遁甲, come to my lesson and then I'll teach you more. And it's going to be at least a 6 months lesson. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video.